Hey everyone, I just want to make a video on my Marwyn the Nurturer deck, just a deck tech video, just to explain the key components that I use to make this deck run. Of course, Marwyn's always a good one because whenever an elf enters the battlefield, she gets a +1/+1 counter, and she taps for mana equal to her power, which mana dork decks, always fun, in my opinion. So, and then things that are redundancy that do very similar things to Marwyn that are in my elf deck: Priest of Titania, Elvish Archdruid, Circle of Dreams Druid, very good ones. Those are the ones that I'd say are very good for specifically having tons of mana and access to mana. Then I'd say the next most important thing in this deck is probably the ability to untap the key opponents to give you more mana, which things like Seeker of Skybreak, Copperhorn Scout, Quarian Ranger, Vitalize, of course, to untap your creatures, and then Instill Energy. In my opinion, all very good ones to have in your deck. And then another important thing I'd say, card draw. Card draw, you have more opportunities to draw your redundancies and into your combo pieces. So, Leaf Crown Visionary, Soul of the Harvest, Regal Force, Beast Whisperer, Vanquisher's Banner, Rishkar's Expertise, things like that. Because those allow for easy card draw that you can do. And, well, of course, Elvish Visionary too, because it's easy to drop and just draw a card. Forgot about that card. Then I'd say another important thing, tutors, being able to tutor for your creatures that either give you your card draw, make your creatures big, or make creatures bigger to be able to tap for more mana, specifically Marwyn. So just 1-drops. I end up doing that if I need to. If I just need a 1-drop, I play that, and then I make Marwyn big enough, and then I'm able to combo off. So for what I'd recommend for those ones, Court of the Calling, Worldly Tutor, Fierce Empath, Elvish Harbinger, Green Sun Zenith, Green Sun's Twilight. I think those are the ones that I have in this deck. Yeah, if I remember correctly. So those was what I'd recommend for tutors. Then for things that allow you to easily top deck stuff, Realm Walker, always very good. Choose a creature type. You can look at the top card of your library anytime and play creatures off the top of your library equal to, or not equal to, sorry, for off the top, on the top of your library for their creature type. And then, well, if you run into lands, you might be worried about that. So Oracle of Moldiah allows you to play lands from the top of your library. I like that one. Things that'll make Marwyn very big very quickly. Something like Immaculate Magistrate, Elvish Promenade, Elven Ambush, Kindred Summons, just because playing any elf does it. Lissalon Huntmaster will do it. Ivy Lane Denizen for sure will do it. And playing any elf. I'm sorry about my cat, but my cat is going to do what my cat does. Then things that also allow Marwyn to get very big very quickly that can scare people, and because it's funny, Panharmonicon. Panharmonicon is in this deck because every time an elf enters the battlefield under your control, she gets a +1/+1 counter, so it does it again because of Panharmonicon. Things that make things very cheap and very easy to elf ball with, something like a Lauren. Very, very good enchantment. You can play any creature with CMC 3 or less at instant speed. Very important key thing right now, so you don't have to do it on your turn. You can do it at any turn, so that when you play your stuff, on your turn, you can tap them. And very big. That has saved me so many times. So, for example, I was playing a game, someone cast Peer into the Abyss on me, and from there, I drew 44 cards and lost half my life total. Ilorin was in the was in my hand at the time, so have 4 mana, I play Ilorin, and Most of my elves in this deck do not cost more than 3. So just dropping elves, then since I have enough and it was in my hand and I'm already at 20 life, something like your combo pieces like Staff of Domination or Sword of Punaris to get infinite mana, and with Staff of Domination, infinite card draw, infinite life, tap and untap your creatures infinitely, and tap down other people's creatures, which is also another scary thing for other people. Which is, I've noticed that people don't know that with Staff of Domination you can tap down their creatures, and then you swing for a bajillion damage. Things that'll protect you, I don't have a ton in this deck because I tend to normally go fast enough with this deck that I don't need to. Things like Fog or Ottoman's Vial. Those are a lot of the key components, I'd say, in my deck. Listed a lot of them off. And then things like for Artifact Hate and Nomade Shepherd and what's the one? Nomade Shepherd and Reclamation Sage. Those are always good ones just in case you need to actually slow someone down or there's an artifact that's really messing you up. Yeah, those are a lot of ones that I have in here. And those tend to be my go-to ones. Because, well, Instill, and as well as Instill Energy, given something like Haste. And then I have Swiftfoot Boots, of course. I never end up having to equip it because at that point, I have enough elves on the battlefield, and I don't normally need to give things haste because normally there are 4 things on the battlefield and I make them big enough, or I have enough things on the battlefield and they're already big enough. I swing with them and they're doing a buttload of damage. And I normally don't want to swing with Marwyn, and when she enters, she's not super big. So I don't normally use Swiftfoot Boots, but they're in there just in case. So I'd say those are a lot of the key components of my deck. And if you guys want, at some point I'll just have my deck list so you guys can look at it. And I just have to know if you want to see that and put that in the comments. Just let me know. The only other things I can think I might need to talk about are things I can dump my mana into for like mana outlets when you do have that infinite mana and need to smack someone for a huge amount of damage. Like Izuri is one of the main one that comes to mind. Elvish War Master, Leyline of Abundance. So that's 3 right there. I don't think there are any more in my deck. So yeah, but those are 3 main ones, and they're pretty easy to get because 2 of them are creatures. One of them's an enchantment, if I remember correctly. So yeah, that's about it for this video. So thank you. Have a good night.